This meeting is being recorded. This meeting is being recorded.
Welcome. Welcome to Ice Cream Sunday. It's definitely Sunday. I'm Rose with Love by Design. This is my amazing partner Marita with The Path of Ish. We are here for Ice Cream Sundays every Sunday at 3 p.m. We do free chakra clearings using the flavors of ice cream to engage your other senses, not just your mind around like sight or colors, but also around taste, texture, you know.
I like your hair.
Thanks. It's not looking as good on the screen, but I don't really care at this point. It's Sunday.
I think it looks great.
Thank you. So today, so we also give relationship tips and advice, and we do readings. And we work together sometimes, and we work apart sometimes. And as it happens right now, we are about to start a collaboration called The Green Road.
Yes, with one other person.
Do you want to talk about it?
Yes, it's going to be a collaboration of total of 3 teachers healers, including myself, my wife, and then also Jennifer, the Truth Titan, Victoria Bell Church. She's amazing. She does a lot of soul healing and reading, and she has some fun classes going on. She's going to be on next week.
I forgot the thing.
To join us. We're going to start having people join us on Sundays. So if you would like to join us, if you want to talk about different things in your practices, feel free. I'm trying to connect to Facebook here via my phone so I can see if anyone's on and if anyone has comments. Okay.
If anyone's on, welcome. We're happy to see you as soon as we see you. So the other thing about Ice Cream Sundays is
Stephen Poland. Hello, Stephen. Risa, hello. Tanya Pitts, hello.
Hello. We make popsicles as well. We do rose flavored popsicles. We are experimenting with a new flavor every single week. This is our like super extra side hustle, the popsicles, Rosy Pops. Today we've got an interesting flavor. Today's flavor is going to be actually like a tisane combination with rose. So the combo is hawthorn, hibiscus, and rose. So this one actually has some like herbal healing qualities. I remember Rachel Farinelli Vita, who was on your green all over summit, talked about hawthorn.
Yeah.
Do you remember what she was saying about hawthorn?
No, I don't remember.
Okay. Well, check it out because we don't remember, but I know it's something good. I know it's good for your heart. Like it's a very heart-opening herb. That's what I remember. So I'm going to get these popsicles started. We're going to try them before the end. Anything else you want to say, baby?
No, I'm just sharing this. Please share this on your page so we can get more people to come and join us.
Check out what we're
doing. But yes, so we usually have topics of the day or of the week, and it's just we've had an exhausting week, both of us, and we are just kind of grouping. So it's not all fairy dust and roses over here at Rosy Pops, but
at Rosy Pop Central.
At Rosy Pop Central.
RPC.
Yes, but we are always willing to pick each other up. And have support. We've got some great support from our community and our friends this week. And there's a lot of people who are going through a lot this week and are triggered. Yeah. So we are here and opening it up to help with that. We went to a really awesome play our friend just put on, and it had to do with returning to Mother Earth. And that's what we've spent the last 10 days doing every day at the Green All Over the summit that I held. Still have people signing up, so it's over, but maybe I'll send out an email to let people do like a free replay day. So I'm trying to figure that out. Hi, Ryan Murphy. How are you? New viewer, welcome. So this is the deal. We are Marita Steva with The Path of Ish. I'm one who catches lightning, also known as one who catches lightning. This is my wife with Rose with Love by Design. We do free chakra clearings with ice cream flavors. We also do relationship advice. She's a relationship coach, and I do a lot of other things. And then we're going to limit it to just 1 card readings because they've been getting really, really long. So if you want any help or are looking for some light at the end of some tunnel or something like that, or just support. We're here to create a supporting space. So we are here. So if anyone needs, would like a reading or a clearing or anything like that, please just write in the comments, and just write also what you're looking for. Definitely, please, no medical advice. Please go to your practitioners for that.
One of the ways that we provide support is by building community, you know, and when I work with people as a coach, you know, when I work with my wife and we actually do dual sessions, you know, we're, like she was saying a little bit ago, we're about to start at the end of October this really amazing collaboration with another practitioner, Jennifer Victoria Bell, and it's going to be a 6-month journey where we're working on inward and outward activism. So how do you love yourself? How do you sustain yourself? How do you use that as a way to sustain the world, to go out and be active in the world, to go be who you want to be, to be a leader? It has to start with that love, that internal love, which is actually, you know, revolutionary. So we're going to be working on that. And I value the community that I build with people here. We've got some regular viewers that come back every Sunday, and we just appreciate the heck out of you because it allows us to build a connection with the people that you do readings and clearings for. So
and we're going to do our first clearing. Stephen.
Where's my ding ding?
I'm looking for it.
Ding dong ding.
So we're going to do our first clearing today. Again, we do chakra clearings with ice cream flavor. So Stephen, we're going to, I love love. It's the most beautiful thing. I totally agree. Love is powerful and amazing, and we have a lot of stories of love. So we're going to do our first chakra clearing today. We use ice cream flavors. The reason that we use ice cream flavors because it's ice cream sundae. See the little witty thing, you know. Anyways, but it's this whole idea of not just using light, but also we are human. We have amazing sense of smell and taste that create very powerful memories. So these chakra clearings also go into kind of your familiar memories of things. So it kind of brings up some other things. So let's dig in.
Okay.
And
Chinese Tibetan bowl. We're going to start.
Here we go, Stephen. We're going to go in. Okay. Got some new people on here. I love it. Okay, Stephen, we're going into your chakras and kind of start clearing them. I feel that your third chakra needs a little help. The flavor that came, if you can think about it, you can also think of a color, is pistachio. We actually worked with pistachio a couple weeks ago.
You missed our pistachio popsicles.
Yeah, it was delicious. So let's go in. So why am I getting pistachio? So I'm getting also kind of, there's a lot of things going on here. I've got a lot of new people here. So in that third chakra, just kind of a cooling down effect. Pistachios, my grandmother loves pistachios. So I have this memory of my grandmother just loving pistachios. So what's coming to me is something also familial, on your familial side, you know, your ancestors coming in and wanting to show love and wanting to, I might have to block some people, and wanting to, give you a connection to the divine, a connection to your family stories, to clear those family stories, to give you guidance, to remind you of love. So concentrate on that as that energy kind of comes in and clears that third chakra. And thank you for everyone holding space. Again, this is a space for clearing, for healing. If you have comments, specifically sexual innuendos and things like that, we would love for you to not share that. This is not the space for that, okay?
Not the place, my friends.
Not the place, my friends. Have you not been watching the news lately? So Stephen, I hope that that third chakra is lightening up a little bit. I also see like something coming into the seventh chakra that needs a little lightness, like imagination. It almost looks like those hard rock candies and like almost like gum with the little sparkles.
The ones that have different layers.
Yes, those.
They were everlasting gobstoppers.
There you go.
Is that what you're talking about?
Yes, exactly. So Stephen, it seems it seems that this everlasting energy is trying to come in through your seventh chakra to bring in new dimensions for healing, new dimensions for peace, for expansion. So I hope that was helpful, Stephen. And we'll move on to the next person. Anything more with Stephen?
No, you know what? I just wanted to say, again, sort of what she said, that just so you guys know, we're super ruthless at deleting people and deleting comments if we think they're inappropriate. So you might not be blocked right now, but if you say stuff on our page, we will block the heck out of you and you won't be welcome back. This is a space that is for people to come for healing. This is a space to come for community and support. And inappropriate behavior is just not going to be tolerated. Zero. Exactly.
We do want to say hello to Molly, who just joined us. She would like a clearing. And Corleanne, good to see you, my sister.
Hi.
Thank you so much for your everyday little tidbits on Facebook to keep us entertained and going.
I was just thinking about you because we're having like a moment with some of the comments that reminds me of something that you went through recently where you were like, wait, what's happening right now?
Yeah.
So good to have you watching. I hope you can stick with it for a little bit. I know you're busy as a super busy, awesome mom, but we love to have you hang out with us.
So Molly, let's move on to you. So
all right.
We're going to...
I'm going to actually draw a card for you, Molly, while she works on your chakras.
Sean, we'll move on to you next for relationship advice.
Oh, let me know what specific type of relationship advice.
Yeah, we need a little bit more
like a question.
Yeah, a great question. Of course, again, please. Right. Okay, Molly. Hello, Megan. We got a lot of people joining us. Thank you for everyone who's new and joining us. Marita Esteva, I'm one who catches lightning with the path of Ish. I've been a shamanic practitioner since I was young. I grew up in various traditions. This is my wife. She is a relationship coach with Love by Design. This is a space of healing and clearing. So
relationship tips.
Exactly.
We work with cards, we do a lot of readings, and we do chakra clearings. We use actually ice cream flavors to really help you connect to different senses, to bring a different kind of energy into your chakras. If you're having something stopped up or if you need a little lift, I am going to pull one card for you right now, Molly.
Okay, Molly.
Wow,
Molly.
You have got to be a superhero, Molly. That's incredible. Holy heck.
Okay, so Molly, we're going to do a quick clearing for you. Ryan, you did write in earlier, so we will do a clearing for you.
Powerful, okay.
Again, sorry about that, Ryan. You wrote in earlier and we just got distracted. Someone popped on being very inappropriate, so we're kind of recovering from
Lisa.
that. Yeah.
Hello.
Okay.
Thank you for saying hi. All your people saying hi. It feels great to get wonderful greetings. I can't tell you. It's nice to connect to our community. I had to take a little bit of a break for the past couple days from Facebook. It was getting pretty intense this week, and I just posted some beautiful pictures from our yard this morning just to kind of, regroup, share some beauty on there. It's been really powerful to me to see all of the stories that people have shared and just how courageous people are being. So, Molly, this is the card I got for you. It's the Seer. Okay. Oh, by the way, this deck is the Mystical Shaman Oracle deck. It's a beautiful, beautiful deck. Wow. Okay.
And as she's doing that, Molly, I'm going to go in and I'm just going to kind of reset your system, your DNA structure, and your chakras. So it's just going to be a nice light clearing of energy coming through, just to kind of uplift everything. And it seems like all your chakras need a little strawberry love right now. We are actually getting some late blooming strawberries, and I love it because I wake up in the morning and I'm like, oh my God, versus strawberry.
I know this morning she actually brought me strawberries in bed this morning, if you can believe that. That is a relationship winning technique right there. Bringing your partner treats in bed in the morning, especially freshly picked strawberries. Hello.
Perfect. And yes, I'm writing down everyone who's writing in. So Ryan, Angela, you want a card? Megan, relationship advice with your immediate family. And Sean, your twin flame. So we will all get to you. So just be patient. Thank you so much.
Okay. So this card, the Seer, is actually about one of my absolute favorite topics. It's about using your intuition, and it's about following your intuition, following your connection to what's hidden, to the hidden realms, to spirit, and trusting that when it leads you around in crazy circles or left or right or where are we even going, it takes you on a road that's not the shortest road, you're stuck in traffic, you still trust that intuition, because the path of spirit, the path of following your own true path, of stumbling down a side alley where you suddenly see this beautiful piece of art that you wouldn't have seen if you had gone the normal way to work. Trusting your intuition is about trusting that the reason that you go certain directions in your life is because those directions are where you're meant to go. They're not necessarily the shortest or most efficient, or the way that Google Maps is telling you has the least traffic or whatever. It's about letting your life be full of surprises, and trusting that the universe has that there for you, has that in store for you when you listen, when you just quiet yourself and listen, and you connect to whatever you want to call it, the universe, God, whatever is guiding you down the path that you're turning on. Actually, one of the things I love to do, which I mentioned, I'm not going to go into great detail because it was one of the bonus, was one of my tips in the bonus features of her green all over summit. I practice intuitive driving. And she does too, actually. I'm not going to tell you too much about what that is, but so this is really just inviting you
she says that
to follow your intuition. Vision is clear.
And Molly, as you say, you're embracing your path. It takes steps to do it, right? A path is a really long journey. So just bit by bit, you can bit by bit, tapping into your intuition, your divinity, your gut, and things like that. So thank you, Molly. Thanks for joining us. I'm glad that was helpful. So Ryan wants a chakra clearing for his throat chakra. So let's do a little bell for Ryan.
The bell is actually perfect for the throat chakra.
It is.
We work with a Tibetan healer who uses these Tibetan bowls in an incredible way. And there's nothing like having this high, perfect singing bell right in your ear when you're just laying on the table. So just imagine that, if you will.
So Ryan, I hope you're still watching and listening and knowing that ring is for you to clear up your throat chakra. There's a lot of things in there, my friend. Looks like a bat cave, actually. So we're gonna ease that up.
Reminds me of a painting.
Yeah, it is. It's beautiful.
A
lot of things going on. A lot of kind of the energies that I'm feeling to clear. Again, we're relating it to tastes and sounds and things like that. Dandelion root is really good. Dandelion, eucalyptus as well, kind of a soothing and opening, and I love that the vibration that she played was that kind of high tone, but it's very also relaxing. It's opening up to higher energies and higher ways of you to speak your truth. And that's kind of what I really feel is going on with your throat chakra is you coming out of your cave, you coming out from being hidden, you really speaking your voice with truth. And I'm going to give you, I'm a singer, I'm a trained vocalist, and I'm going to give you a little tip. Sometimes it's just when they're teaching you to be a vocalist, we think that all singing comes from here, but singing comes from all over our head. There's different registers that we hit, and singing comes from here. And that's your third chakra, right? If you can stand, I remember when I sang jazz or did my own performances, my own music, I remember when I had to really hit a specific note, right? Not rise up to it, but hit it and hit it for really long, breath, that I would dig in. I would literally, as I was standing there with my guitar, dig in my heels into the ground and ground down and root up and hit that note. So,
and then she'd take off like Superman.
Exactly. Exactly. So Ryan, I think your third chakra is also, yes, your third chakra is in a correlation to your throat chakra. So I'm going to send in some nice healing energy there. And that's where you're going to get your strength of who you are. Your ability to be out there in the world will help you speak your truth. So I hope that was helpful, Ryan. Awesome. He's still here. And also drink some eucalyptus tea. There's eucalyptus tea, right? No? Maybe? I don't know. Don't listen.
I don't know if it might be in some of the mixes, but you know what I often do is I'll put it in like a vaporizer, like an atomizer, and then the oil especially the first hit.
Hi, Babette.
It opens you up so completely. It's amazing. It's like cooling and refreshing and opening. And the other thing I'm really feeling is it's not ice cream, but it's just that cool water. Yeah. Just that cool flowing water, not still water, but just cool, running, beautiful, flowing, clear water moving through your throat chakra, and remembering that it's a journey to connect to your voice and your truth. But that just, you'll get to that place if you can sort of imagine what that feels like to have your true voice flow into the world with ease.
And it takes practice, it takes practice to speak your truth. And as you speak more and more, just like we were talking to Molly earlier, as you practice more and more, it gets easier, because you have to build those muscle memories. There's actual muscle memory that has to happen in your voice when you're training, in your throat, when you're training as a vocalist, but there's also mind memory, right? The memories that we have to get rid of as we reprogram ourselves, as we reprogram our truths, right? What have you been told all your life, So as that gets reprogrammed, and it takes days, it takes, 28 days, 38 days, small little practices, my brother. So thank you. Awesome. Yes, we're getting to you, Sean. We have a few people in front of you, Sean. We're gonna do we're gonna do Angela. We're gonna do a card. Then we're gonna do Megan. Then we're gonna do Sean because he asked, and then Megan. Okay, so you're right. You're almost there, Sean. Thank you so much for staying on. We'll do a chakra clearing for you, and I know you're asking about your twin flame. We'll see what's going on with that. But we're gonna do a card. Angela, I hope you're still on. We're grabbing a card. I love this. This card is a coyote. The coyote is a trickster. What I love when coyote comes up, it's not about just tricking us to steer us off a path. It's about the ability, and we have a lot of coyotes around here, to make sure that we are ready. Coyote comes to you today as a symbol to make sure that you're ready for that next big plan that you have, because you have been planning some big things, Angela. You have been planning some amazing things, and Coyote's here to make sure that you are sticking to your guns, that you're ready for that new reality that you're creating. And it's that invitation to be able to be true to yourself.
Yeah, so it's like Coyote is a sacred trickster in the way that, have you ever been, you're on this path and you feel like you're on the right path. Oh, I did something crazy to my hair. You're on the right path and you're working really hard and you feel like you're and you get this crazy detour and you're like, what? Why? Like, why? And that is Coyote. Mm-hmm. And some of those detours, not all of them, but some of those detours are about testing you to challenge you, to strengthen you. It's you get these crazy detours and tests to really, really challenge you to grow in the areas you have to grow to really be ready to finish that path, And this is what I have struggled with. I'm not going to lie. There's moments where I'm like, why am I here right now? I feel like I'm done with this lesson, right? But there must be something, I think when I trust it and I feel it out, sometimes I can tell, is there something else I still need to learn here? Or is it that I keep inviting energy in that I'm done with? And if there's still something else to learn, that's the trickster energy of Coyote, challenging you so that you are ready. You are ready and you are strong and you have shed the old stuff that you didn't need to carry forward with you onto that next step. So That's a really powerful, wonderful card. And yes, we hear the coyotes here at night, and in the early morning, sunset and sunrise is like the most powerful times.
Awesome. So Sean, thank you for being patient. He wants, his question is about relationship advice is twin flame. Also, he wanted a chakra, a clearing. So let's go in and do a clearing and see where you're at with your relationship with yourself. Sometimes always meeting your twin flame is about meeting yourself.
So Sean, if you'd be able to comment and just let us know, is there somebody specific that you're wondering whether or not they're your twin flame? Or are you wanting to know if how far away you are from meeting that person, or, that sort of thing? I think it can be very different. I'd just be curious. So
again, thank you for everyone who's on. We got a lot of new people. Marita Steva, I'm one who catches lightning with the path of Ish. This is Rose by Love by Design. And we're having a lot of fun. We have a lot of people today. So we are being diligent and making sure that we're trying to get to everyone. So Sean, you're on deck, right? We're working with you right now. And we're going to do Megan. Then I've got Mary Kelly who wants a card, Corley Ann, and then Lisa wants a clearing, and Tonya as well. So if you are patient with us, we will get to you. So Sean, just make sure that I know Rose just asked you a question, so if there's someone in specific that you want us to do that, and as she's looking for a card for you, I'm going to start clearing your chakras, starting with your base chakra. We got a lot of fire, my friend. So let's bring that energy and ground that energy in. Sometimes, when we keep looking for things, it's an easy way to identify with parts of ourselves that we think we lack. We look for those in other people. And I don't want it to sound trite. I'm sure a lot of people say this, but it's first, of course, making sure that you are manifesting with yourself first. And so I'm going to do a quick grounding technique for you, Sean. Girlfriend was recently broken up. Her name is Carrie Jenkins. Is she your twin flame? Okay, we'll see.
Well, if the cards are any indication, the answer is no, at least not at this moment. This is what I got. Completion in a reversed setting, and reversed is not bad. It means there's a different medicine that's being offered to you. But the interesting thing is about this card, when you read it upright and upside down, the message is actually still very similar. Mm-hmm. So, this card completion, which is beautiful, it's Ouroboros. It's the, the snake eating its own tail. The essence of this card is that all things have a beginning, a middle, and an end, and that's the nature of life, And
I want to jump in, Sean. I understand the whole twin flame relationship. I thought that the relationship that I was in prior was my twin flame and was in multiple lifetimes, but we were repeating the same patterns. We were stuck in the same karmic patterns, and I made a decision to change my life, and then I met this amazing human being who was beyond my wildest dreams. If I actually look in my journal and what I wrote and what I wanted in a relationship, she goes beyond that. Matches it to a T and is even beyond that. So I truly believe that there are phases in our life and that we can have multiple twin flames.
And the interesting thing, the thing that, I don't know, just intuitively, I'll tell you a little bit more about what the card says, but the thing that I'm feeling intuitively you also need to hear is sometimes, even if somebody is our twin flame, there are moments that are not the right moments, depending on who we are and who they are and what place of growth and healing and adventure and, journey that we're on. There are times when people part for a long time and they come back together, but it's not because they never let go.
Yeah.
So let me just tell you a little bit more about what this particular card pull is saying, and you can let me know if it sort of resonates for you.
I'm sorry. I'm sure it's really hard to go through breakups. So we feel you, Sean. We're sending you a lot of love. So be strong, brother.
When we do these readings, we do them with a lot of love. We also don't candy coat things. So, we just want you to know that saying this, and the other thing about this is everything that we offer to everybody, you can take it or leave it. All life is a choice, right?
All life is a choice.
And your journey is your own. So what it's saying is basically that clinging to the old form is only going to bring decay. When fruit is left too long on the vine, it rots. We struggle with that a lot in the garden, which is why we actually plant only certain types of like fruits and vegetables now, because if we're not here at the right moment, if we're gone for a long time, all we have is a garden full of rotting food, and it's a waste. That's not what it's meant for harvest. It's meant to be eaten by plants and animals. And
it says it means a lot. Thank you.
It says, this card is telling you, don't be afraid. I think this is kind of a funny thing to say, because as soon as somebody tells you don't be afraid, it's kind of like, it's like, now don't take this the wrong way. And you're like, great, what's coming? It says, don't be afraid of hurting anyone's feelings. Remember that you are responsible only for your own actions and not the actions of other people. And again, it's important to mourn what is lost. It's not about moving on and not having that period of mourning, of sadness, because that is part of the process of moving on. But it's okay to have those sad feelings. But what this is encouraging you to do is, when you're ready, to don't hang on to that sadness for too long. Remember that you're alive. Remember that the sun is shining on you. Remember that this planet is huge and there's billions and billions of people on it. And so, the gift of you being able to connect with somebody very deeply and have that love is incredible. And it should be honored and it should be mourned. And then it maybe is time to let go and see what else is out there for you. I can tell you for sure that before I met my partner, I had no idea what was coming. Like I would not have predicted to you that I was going to go on this date and it would change the rest of my life that day. The whole rest of my life would change. And we've talked about this before, because I feel like it's really profound. It's easy to forget how quickly things can change. And so just take that for what it's worth. Thank you for opening yourself up to have this reading. And I actually am really excited for you, even though it sounds like you're in a period of letting go. To me, when I look back in my life at the moments that I really had to let go, that were painful moments, I also was simultaneously starting on this new journey. And it was some very exciting periods of my life lay ahead of me every time. So thank you. All right.
Okay, so we Megan, she needs relationship advice. Keeping boundaries with her brother. You're very good with this. This is the relationship queen, and she knows about really good boundaries, and she says she feels guilty about it. So.
Oh yeah.
So I feel you there.
I'm going to draw a card for you, but the first thing I just want to say to you about feeling guilty about having boundaries is you're not alone. Many people feel very guilty about having boundaries. I have had periods of my life where I struggled. I think, boundaries can be more or less challenging for different people, but I know for me, coming from where I came from, and sort of whatever, we're all a unique mix of our environment and like whatever is natural for us as people. I really struggled with boundaries. I was terrible with boundaries. I was terrible at setting boundaries with other people, both in terms of like me respecting other people's boundaries and then setting boundaries for them with me. And in my mind, a lot of the time, I thought that I was like being kind to them. I thought that I was like holding out and being stingy and being disconnected and like, you be over there. In my mind, that's how it felt. It felt icky to set boundaries. It felt like I was holding out, and I started to see how I was creating actually some really, really unhappy dynamics for both sides of the situation. For myself, I would get really resentful, which would just, create this sort of little bit of like poison in all these different relationships that I was having. And then for the other people, I mean, because I've been on the other side of that too now in my life, which I think is very positive experience to be able to see what it feels like from the other side. And from the other side, what I can say it taught me is that when people didn't set boundaries with me, and then they sort of like acted like I was an imposition, or, it felt like, well, you offered something to me that I didn't even ask for. And now you're somehow like mad at me and you're going to communicate it in these subtle ways. So I'm not saying that that's what's going on with your brother, because I don't know, maybe he's demanding a lot. The other experience that I've had, so let me go back. So the end thing I realized about that is actually I was being a much better friend to people, a much better family member to people, when I was setting healthy boundaries that felt aligned with who I was, And if later I was like, you know what, maybe I realized that doesn't actually feel good for me, you can always change your mind. That's up to you. There's always that moment. Boundaries don't have to be permanent. You can decide if you're like, you know what, I feel like actually I would like to give you this. I would like to offer this. It didn't feel right for me at the time, but I've changed my mind, right? Now, the other thing is that because I had such bad boundaries for so long, what happened was
boundaries right now.
People came to expect a lot from me. And so then when I would set sort of normal boundaries, they would get like really, really angry. And that was very enlightening, because it made me realize how little respect they had for my well-being. That when push came to shove, if they just kept on taking, asking, and I said like, you know what, actually at this point, maybe like it's not a good time or whatever. And they were like, well, what do you mean it's not a good time? Well, what about this? What about that? And they just demanded it. Then I was like even more glad that I had set the boundary, The interesting thing to me about setting boundaries in both those like challenging, kind of changing the dynamics of a relationship that's been established for a long time, or setting boundaries in a way that felt icky for me or whatever. What I realized was that when I didn't set boundaries, when I tried to rescue people, when I tried to give and provide to them, it's like that cliche of the butterfly who can't escape the chrysalis, right? I wasn't appreciating the power and strength that they actually have to do for themselves, to do for other people, to create in the world, and it's not about never helping people, because I'm a helper. I love to support people, but I think, if you're starting to feel really icky about what you're giving, I think you should take a break.
And I agree with Elena Cruz. She says it's hard to distinguish when to help versus when to see I'm taking advantage of. And, whether it's relationships with people, family are people, but intimate relationships of any kind, business relationships, or even just, relationships in general. If you give because you're just a giver and you're like, oh, this is what I'm supposed to do. Whoa, I'm getting emotional right now. Let me calm down. If you give and then immediately have regrets, or immediately feel like, oh, here I am because I'm doing this because this is what I'm supposed to do, because this is what you're supposed to do in your job and in your relationships and your family and stuff like that. And there's this thing in the pit of your stomach or in your throat. We worked on Sean earlier. That's like, oh, that's another little piece taken out of me that I'm not going to get back. Then you have to re-look at everything. And sometimes it's going to mean that you're going to have to take a big step back, a really big step back, and be like, hey, what are my boundaries? What are the things? And this is the thing. This is what's amazing. There are no mistakes in life. Let me say that again. There are no mistakes in life. Anything that you do.
Except the word mistake.
Well, there you go. Except the word. So if you are trying, if you are out there and you are putting love out there, then it's only an opportunity to learn and to grow. right? If your intention is there, and make sure that that intention is first of all taking care of yourself. And that's a really hard thing to do. We learned how to sacrifice. We learned how to do that. So
I really appreciate what she's saying, because some of the ways that I've had to recognize in myself, when are those moments when I feel like I'm giving too much, or, you know, when am I not having good boundaries, and when am I just helping?
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of it has to do with my internal, like, connection to self, my noticing of how my body reacts, and also noticing after the fact, am I trying to take power back in small little ways? Like making little comments, or like reminding people what I've done for them, and sort of like holding it over them in this like sort of like little passive aggressive ways, but just noticing that there's this energy of like wanting to like take something back, or feeling like something was taken that I didn't really feel good about giving.
Yeah,
so the card for that one is the smoky mirror. It's reversed. And it's perfect actually for what we're talking about, because gotta tell you, healing your boundaries has a lot to do with healing your past, you know? And well, I'll leave it at that. So the medicine of this card is understanding that the shadow of the human journey requires that you go deep into your story to discover the wound that prevents you from seeing the truth of your current situation. So I think you probably know this already. Having those boundaries with your brother that don't feel good has something to do with something that somebody taught you owed to other people, has something to do with guilt, has something to do with family, has something to do with obligation. And I know for me, I did have to overcorrect way in the other direction before I could sort of come back to a place in the middle. Sometimes I had to pull way back from people. And it was necessary for my healing. So, and I give a lot, but I'm still very careful about practicing and noticing, when am I going to feel later like I'm going to hold this over somebody. That has been a good indicator for me anyway. So thank you. That was very long-winded, but boundaries are essential. They are powerful. I'm so glad you asked about them. Everybody struggles with boundaries. I have not met a single human being who doesn't struggle with boundaries. So if you want to reach out to me, I do private sessions. I do packages of sessions. If anybody wants to reach out, we will put our contact information in the description of the video as soon as we're done. Mine is Rose, R-O-S-E, at love, B-I, like love by design.com. So, and then did you want to share your email address?
I can't think of it right now.
Marita, M-A-R-I-T-A, at, is it The Path of Ish?
Yeah.
T-H-E, The Path, P-A-T-H-I-X.com. So
sorry, I was having technical issues here, and so I get distracted.
Okay.
So we are next. You are still on, Mary. Thank you so much. So you won a card. So, Mary, is there something in particular that you are asking direction for these cards, or are we just pulling one and just going from there? Just let us know. If not, we'll pull that. And who's next is Andrew, who wants some direction from after his ayahuasca ceremony. Then we're going down the list: Corleanne, Tonya, Lisa, Catherine, Jeanette, Elena, and Dawn. So we got a lot of people. Thank you so much. Very exciting to be here. Your support helps us. It gets us energized, us excited as well. So Megan, Mary, so here we go. Here's your card. So I don't know what you're asking for, but the card that we're
getting a lot of reverse cards today. I love it. So magic.
In general, there we go.
It's in reverse. This card is magic, but that doesn't mean this card is about not magic, because it's in reverse. What this card means is it's a reminder to you to remember that you live in a world that is completely full of magic.
Yeah, it's hard to forget, it's hard to forget. It's easy to get stuck in our everyday,
So it's about remembering your connection to magic, your connection to source. I think it can be very seductive. Cynicism can be very seductive. I have had periods of my life where I was very, very connected to cynicism. It was very disconnected from spirit, and my practices that I have with that I grew up with, that I've created for myself, that, and I was very cynical. But there was part of me that felt like it's not any more true to be cynical than it is to believe in magic. And for me, I made a choice for myself because I want to choose to live in a way that brings magic into my life, that believes in the possibility of magic, that believes in spirit, that believes in things beyond what we can see, and if you read science, if you read anything, like the things that happen to create life in this world,
just like, even oxygen, right?
Oh,
the air
God,
that we breathe is amazing.
It's incredible, So this card is really just telling you, reconnect to that awareness, place yourself somewhere. If it means going out to the ocean, going to a
nature,
sacred place, going to like a crystal shop where you're surrounded by crystals, going to the flower mart, going somewhere that inspires a sense of awe and magic for you. That is what this card is.
And I think Mary, she says she's not stepping into her own magic. She's been getting it a lot. To be able to step into magic means that you have to transition from wanting to having. How do you do that? It's changing. It's to slow down. They say stop and smell the roses. Well, you have to stop. You have to you have to get to that point where you're willing to slow down and look at different rhythms, not just your own. And you can do small practices. I do a gratitude practice every morning when I wake up, instead of, grabbing my emails and getting inundated with things like that, or trying to figure out, why the cats are jumping all over me. I stop for at least, 5 to 10 minutes, depending on the day. And I just go through a list of gratitude, because I used to I used to scare myself awake every morning. I used to use anger and fear as a way to jolt me out of bed, to give me energy to be successful in the day. Changing that energy and that was always an energy that left me wanting, because I was never enough. I was never fast enough, good enough, this enough, and stuff like that. So if I changed it, I said small things like, thank you for this bed. Thank you for this roof over my head. Thank you for the food that I have. Small things like that. Start changing your vibration and allow you to create value again. You have to value your time. You have to value yourself. You have to value your magic. So I hope that was helpful.
Something that I do too, there's a couple really simple things that I do. Working with one, if you're working with actual like tools of the trade, if you're working with a deck or with a crystal or with something that is part of your own practice, spending some time with it, doing one tiny thing every day with it, is a way also to just stop and connect and be and do what she's just saying, instead of like that it's over there somewhere and you don't really understand how to step into it, but people are telling you to, but you're like, what does that even mean? Have one deck that you work with, have it on your phone, have it in person.
I have decks on my phone all the time.
Have 5 essential oils and start wearing one each day, and just notice how that changes things for you. Something that I also do is I'm an artist and a painter, and something for me that reminds me of my magic, of my connection to spirit, is my painting. Yeah. So I have had to find ways to do that in a way that's sort of like accessible to me, that doesn't take hours and hours. But when I paint, I feel connected to my magic. So if there's things like that for you, little things, start little and make it as frequent as possible. And that is a great way to connect to and step into your magic, because then it's just going to start to flow, All right.
Okay. We are moving on. So Andrew, thank you so much. Andrew, you're next. You said if you're still on, Andrew, please just type in the comments. You said you wanted direction after an ayahuasca ceremony.
We need to reshuffle these, I think.
So as we'll pull one card for you if there's anything in particular that you are asking. He hearted it, so I think he's still here. Ayahuasca ceremonies can be very powerful. A lot of people are also doing cacao ceremonies. Hello, I'm here. Yay, Andrew. Okay, all the energy around me is changing. I'm trying to relearn how, and they're all working around me. Yeah. Tell me about it. Yes, we get it. We are there. Okay. Oh, that's Mary Kelly. Okay, Mary.
Yeah.
Oh, Mary Kelly. Okay. Yeah, Mary Kelly, we understand. Energies are changing and we have to relearn and we have to be in that shift. So this is the thing. We're never going to get to the end of anything, right? We're never going to have a completely full cup, because I loved it this morning. I was watching another Facebook Live and I'm forgetting her name. She was talking about how we keep expanding, the expansion principle, right? You know, so as we learn and then we expand and we have more room to learn more. And expand more and expand more and expand more.
Oh, I like that.
I know, it's kind of awesome, right? So our teacup keeps expanding and we can keep putting knowledge in that, right? So Mary, we understand. Awesome. Andrew says it was a huge experience. Now nothing makes sense. Was this your first time, Andrew, doing that? I've never done ayahuasca myself. I've done cacao.
Cacao is nothing like ayahuasca.
Nothing like ayahuasca.
I have done elements of ayahuasca, but I can tell you, having done that is.
Oh yeah. No. What I'm saying is that plant medicine is very different in the way that it's done. We have a lot of friends who conduct ayahuasca ceremonies, and yeah, nothing makes sense. I'm sure it takes you out of yourself, and more importantly, what it does, it shows you yourself. In a lot of traditional, Mayan ceremonies with ayahuasca and things like that. I work with the Jaguar energy. The Path of Ish works with bringing down, singing down your past lives, all those things that you're ashamed of, or bits of yourself that you left up in a tree. Sometimes ayahuasca is you, sometimes it's not. Wow. Brother, so, you hardcore.
So what I would say, so the card that we pulled for you, but I feel like there's going to be a second card, to be honest. The first card we pulled for you is the Sun. I think actually, do you want to do a little bit of a clearing? I think just a top to bottom.
Yeah. Andrew, I'm going to go through your chakras, through your elements. I'm going to do a quick DNA restructuring and clearing, if that is okay. It seems that you're like a circuit that's like sparking off, and things aren't completely kind of connecting. So with your permission, since you are asking for help, I'm going to go in and kind of reconnect you and ground you. You got the sun. Sun is amazing. Sun is also connected to Mother Earth, right? As an element. It brings us heat and warmth. And so we just finished the Southern Shield in the Hopi tradition, which is the South Shield, which is all about fire, creation through fire. And now we're in the West with healing, with Blue Bear, and with Turtle. And what I love about Turtle is that Turtle is always home. Wherever it is. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to use those spirit animals to bring you home to your new reality and to your new self as your shell keeps expanding so that you can fit back into it. Okay. So she's going to do your cards and I'm going to go through that. So hopefully you're sitting down, Andrew.
So the sun is the most brilliant light on our planet. You know, it's the source of, it's one of the sources of all life, right? The sun can be gentle and warming. It can be healing, but it can also be scorching and burning and destructive, you know? And really what I'm getting for you is that you're not meant to understand everything right now that you went through, but sitting with the truth that, you know, part of the gifts of what you were given in terms of your experience is that nature is all things. You know, nature can be very nurturing. Nature can be very healing. Nature can be destructive. You know, we both are surfers. You know, one of the things you learn when you go out on the water is that the water is, you know, it holds you up, it lifts you forward, and you never turn your back on it, because it can just as easily drown you in the 30 seconds. It can smash you into the rocks. It can destroy your board. You know, it's, and that's nature, you know, and the medicine of ayahuasca is a plant. It's a combination, if I'm not mistaken, of 2 different plants. So, and part of the reason they do that is combining the masculine and the feminine energy together in the medicine. You know, and the sun, interestingly, is considered to be both, to be a strong masculine god or energy in certain religions and spiritual practices, and considered to be very feminine in others. but both agree it's the light of everything, right? It gives life to everything. And I just would encourage you to just sit with the experiences that you've had, you know, the chance that you had to kind of see around the corner. That's what I used to call it when I would do certain types of other plant medicines. Yeah, I don't think it's for you to understand right now. I think it's for you to walk around in the world in this strange human shell with your eyes open, feeling stunned and confused and bewildered, and, you know, like you saw something that you didn't understand how to grasp. And I think that that's actually okay, you know, because so many people walk around and they're totally asleep. So many people walk around and they've never had that experience. And I remember having done plant medicine of different types, I remember the feeling of knowing that it's possible at some point I would like lose, I would forget what I had seen, what I had connected to. And this is the moment when you get to revel in your sense of like, where am I? And questioning everything, you know? I had an experience once on plant medicine. I may have actually shared this one because it was so powerful to me, where I think I actually shared it last Sunday. I can't remember what somebody said, but in my experience, it was like I had shrunk down so small that I could see atoms dancing, right? And how beautiful and how much in love with the process of life, with the process of existing, that the dance of atoms is. It's a dance, you know, it's joy, right? It changed me. You know, there's certain experiences that have changed me. I'm far away from those now, but I remember that feeling, and I really encourage you to just sit in it. To just sit in it in bewilderment and confusion. And I hope that the people that you did the ceremony with are open to providing ongoing connection to community, to connection to support, because I think it can be very powerful to have support and guidance and community after going through a process that you feel has profoundly changed your view of the world or yourself. So I hope that resonated for you. The other thing about the sun, last parting words, it's just about shining. It's about you shining bright, you know? So use this moment to be that sun, to be that bright sun shining in the world. You have received a gift that not that many people do. So, all right, that's where I'm going to leave it with you. Thank you so much for asking, for being here with us, and I hope that that was helpful. All right.
Was your song, Andrew, that was singing your jaguar down the lost parts of yourself from your tree of life, the tree of your lifetimes, your beginnings, and your ends. So just kind of uniting yourself with all parts of yourself. So thank you for everyone who's joined. We have a few new people. Dawn, you're back. Annie, you're back. Thank you. Lauren, new. I didn't catch the beginning. What's the affirmation? This is what's going on. Risa, good to see you. So we do shop. My name is Marita, one who catches lightning. This is Rose with Love by Design. We give relationship advice, free chakra readings with the flavors that we use are ice cream flavors or just flavors in general to bring in the senses and memory. And we also do one-card readings. We have a long list of people. Thank you so much. If you've joined us for the first time, hopefully you'll be back. Please share this on your feeds with your friends so we can keep growing this, keep raising the vibration. We are now Corley, and I hope you're still watching.
Okay, girl. So we pulled this card, the Ancient Ones, upside down and inside out. So this card is telling you it is time to forgive relatives, generational, like past generations of relatives for stuff that's happened, because it's basically you're creating your own chains. I don't know if this resonates for you, but I feel like, it's telling you there's somebody, I don't know if they're living or dead, but there's somebody, or maybe a few somebodies that it's time to really, really cut the cords and just be like, you know what? Say gratitude. I have said some gratitude for people that have been incredibly abusive to me in my life. I'm not going to say it was easy, because I really like to mean what I say. Because I want to free myself, and that's what this card is offering to you. It's just telling you to time to forgive your ancestors for whatever they did. There was this book, I think we were mentioned, you brought it up when I was talking about another book. The Book of Forgiving is the one that you had mentioned, about the process of forgiveness in South African apartheid. And it's written by, Desmond Tutu and his daughter, Po Tutu. And there's a story about a girl who went over there to assist after apartheid, fell apart, and it was overturned, thank goodness. And she was white, and she was murdered by these men who were very angry about what had happened, and her family came and forgave the men. And then the men ended up working at the foundation and nonprofit that her family started in her name, because there was just this sense that what had happened was so horrible. The only way to mend it was through forgiveness. It wasn't through revenge. Marita's telling me that you had a comment. Hopefully.
So does she forgive and cut, or
forgive and cut in term? I'm guessing you mean in terms of like the relationships. Do you cut people off or not? If that's not what you meant.
Cut ties, yeah.
So
or forgive them and continue.
I think that my instincts are telling me you need to listen to your own instincts on that, to be honest, because
You've become like a monk all of a sudden.
No, I mean, I was like, oh, I have an eyelash. Look right there.
There you
Sea Dragon, baby. Sea Dragon Estate.
There we go.
Okay. So, I think that's a decision that you have to make for yourself. And what I would encourage you to do is, if there are particular things that have happened, or, specific types of like circumstances. So I grew up in a home where there was there was substance use, and there were untreated mental health things going on. And the place that actually really helped me decide whether I should completely cut ties and break off relationship was finding a space where I could talk to other people who had been through what I had been through. It helped me realize what I needed to do. And it wasn't because they were telling me, actually. People made a lot of different choices. Some people continued to have relationships with their families who had similar stuff going on. Some people did not. They had no contact. But being in that space where I could talk and hear other people's stories mirrored back to me, it was like hearing my own story through someone else's words. I think it really helped me. Just like when you realize, oh my God, I would never give somebody else advice to let somebody treat them that way. Why am I telling myself that it's okay for those people to treat me that way, right? We give other people advice and we don't take it. But if we were giving someone else, we would be like, oh yeah, I totally, no problem, I don't know if it's possible for you. I actually found an online support group through Facebook, believe it or not. It was a totally secret group, so nobody could see that I was a member of it. But I was able to really just process and figure out what I wanted to do in that way. Part of the reason you need to make the decision is because it's part of your healing journey. You know, part of your healing journey is deciding for yourself that you're worth it.
Yeah.
Whatever the decision is, whether it means it's worth it for you to try to repair, to try to be bigger, to try to, you know, create a relationship that works for you, or whether it means no, it's not. It's really not. And nothing is permanent. You
Exactly.
you can always change your mind. I mean,
life is a dance. Sometimes it's a tango. 2
Yeah.
steps forward, 2 steps back. Da, 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 da. You know, so be okay with that. Again, you don't have to make solid decisions. Your boundaries can be permeable. They can move, right? You know, they can move, as you shift. It doesn't have to be a hard wall. Sometimes you need those hard walls, right, in your life for protection, and that's great. But just trust your Stan, Corleanne, and I can forgive them, but they will continue. You know, if they're going to continue in their own drama and their own things, honey,
so can you live with it? That's the question. I have found for myself, there are some, and I'm happy to talk with you more offline about this, but I have set some very challenging boundaries in my own life with family that I knew would continue to abuse me in the same way. And I didn't feel like I was at a place where it wouldn't affect me. Yeah. If it didn't affect me, I maybe would still have a relationship with them right now, but it does. And I realized I wasn't there. So frankly, I cut it off.
And I love, Corley, you said you and your children are worth more. And that's true. You have to, this is the thing. So many times we don't set boundaries with people because we don't think we're worth it. We think we owe someone something else. And that is bullshit. I'm telling you right now. We don't owe anyone anything. The person that you owe the most is to yourself. And that is to connect to your divinity, to connect to your worth, which is really interesting that you're talking about this, because we're going to do a clearing for Tanya, but what's coming up for Lisa, if you're still on there, your third chakra, which is,
oh, you're just skipping straight.
No, I'm not sure what for me, what I feel a lot, what's going on today is just this idea of worth. Am I worth it? People, do I trust myself? Do I trust my experiences? The world seems like it's upside down right now. And that's because it's changing, and it is hard to change within change. And sometimes you just want to take a nap, right? I enjoy cat naps all the time.
And sometimes I just want to take a nap.
And that's okay. You know, change is hard, and relationships are hard. This world is not easy. It was never meant to be easy, but there's support. We're here for each other. We're building community here, and it's okay to let go of things because, you know, my growing up, I remember people would always say that I had golden handcuffs with my family. You know, my father was provided for me a lot, but he was very, very strict and very, very domineering in a lot of ways. And I had to let go of that to expand to who I truly was. And it's so easy to feel like you owe someone something, and you don't. That person gave it to you. It was their decision to give you. And that's the thing. If you think you owe someone something, then you're not empowering that other person to give to you freely. And so you're just in the circle, in the drama cycle and triangle.
So here's the other thing I want to say is, you know, when it comes to your kids, I work a lot with families. I work a lot with parents with children. That's a huge part of another community, like public service type work that I do. And what I have learned over and over again, and what I have witnessed over and over again, is that we teach our children by who we are, not what we tell them. You know, so when you are thinking about how you want your children to be able to live when they are adults and as they're growing up, you know, you have this amazing, amazing opportunity not to completely control that, obviously, because there's way more factors than just you as a parent, even though you have this huge influence over them. But by who you are, you will show them. The other thing is that a lot of the women that I was in groups with, one of the major turning points for them with cutting off family members that were going through, you know, the particular diagnosis, mental health diagnosis that a family member of mine, I believe, has, is that they realized that they wouldn't put up with it once their children were involved in the situation. And, you know, I used to work with teenage girls who were sexually exploited locally, like in the Bay Area. I still do sometimes, but that was like the main focus of my job for a while. And me and my coworker really struggled with the fact that we actually weren't mandated reporters in our position, because it felt like, even though we know the system didn't work. Even though we knew that, you know, reporting this abuse might not make the outcome that we wanted, we also felt like, what are we teaching these children by showing them that we are not going to make an effort to protect them, which is exactly what had already happened to them to get them into the situation that they were in. So, you know, I think this is an amazing opportunity for you to protect yourself and to protect your children, and you are worth it. You are worth it. You have no idea what the rest of your life could hold. Woo! You could die tomorrow. You could live for, you know, till you're 115 years old. Like, you don't know, but you know, that is another powerful thing that I have used to help me make decisions. If I died tomorrow, what decision would I wish that I had made today? So I'm going to leave it there. Thank you so much for coming and, again, asking and letting us offer to you. It is a gift, actually, to ask for help, because it allows others to be of service to you. And that is what we love right here. So
let's go. We got a lot ahead of us.
I know, but it's so exciting.
I know. She's the gift of gab.
All right.
Okay, so we've got Tonya. We're going to do
the gift of gab.
She has so much to share.
Yeah, that's true.
Tonya, we're going to
too much.
Okay, so we got 2 chakra clearings back to back. Tonya, your 5th, she says she's feeling very heavy, like she has a big burden. So let's go in and clear that up. I see a lot in your 5th chakra coming up. Rhubarb's coming up. I think it's come up for you before again.
This is the 5th, by the way.
There you go. And then your 8th, clementine. So we're going to go in
sounds delicious
and clear that out. For me,
I wish we had made clementine popsicles.
Clementine popsicles would be amazing. So clementine popsicles, rhubarb, you know, it has, I don't really like rhubarb.
I love rhubarb.
I have issues with rhubarb.
Strawberry rhubarb pie is
because
so good.
They put it with strawberry. And I'm like, why are you doing that?
Well, no, that's not why. Have you ever had rhubarb by itself?
I don't know. But anyways.
Interesting fact, may not be a fact because I saw it on an episode of Bones. Rhubarb in high enough quantities can help dissolve meat off of the bone, because it's like has this crazy acidic quality. So
there you go.
Just saying.
Anyways, let's get back to this.
So sorry.
Rhubarb, the opening, kind of also maybe it is getting things off the bone.
No,
maybe
that's
it's getting
rid.
It's getting rid of all those blocks that you have of having your voice, of people, you know, shutting you down again. I know you're in challenging times at work and in life, Tonya. So again, just coming in and clearing that energy to make sure I almost feel like, I feel like you feel that once you see the light, all of a sudden starts shutting down again. And so make sure that, you know, you're doing your daily practices. I know that you have them, your meditation, to make sure that you're connecting to yourself. It is day by day. It's hard. I struggle sometimes day by day maintaining my practices of self-care because I'm like, whatever, I'm fine. It's a good day.
The thing about rhubarb too is it's like an, you know, it's an acid. It's like lemon. It's like, you know, you can cook fish with lemon, right? Rhubarb is like that too. You know, it's something that you can really like burn old crap away, right? And I think that's why that rhubarb is coming to your voice, to your, how you present yourself in the world. Cause it's like asking you to just like burn the fat. What are you saying?
Yeah.
How are you representing yourself that is unintentionally creating outcomes that you don't want, you know? And it may be all of the extra words that you use. It may be how you try to make others feel better by using your words. I would just say cut your words in half.
Yeah.
Just try it for like, you know, even a day. Even one conversation, and see what comes out of your mouth if you have to pick half as many words as what you usually
I've done that, and that's really powerful. Sometimes we give people more information than they actually ask of us. You know, we make all these stories because we're, you know, and so I stopped doing that, and I was like, oh, wow. They're not even asking for this. And here I was willingly giving it to them, and they were just like, thought I was whatever, you know. So cut your words. Clementine, 8th chakra, clearing that up, just giving a little juice of life, some clearing the negativity, just bringing sunshine, sun and sparkles and yumminess and summer and things like sweetness of life, sweet as.
Oh,
so thank you, Tonya. Thank you for joining us. And 1 second, that's for Catherine's card.
Oh, you're jumping
Lisa, we're doing your clearing now. 3rd chakra came up, bubblegum, you know, that bubblicious, that grape. And what came up to me when I was
Wait, grape or Bubblicious?
well, the grape Bubblicious kind.
I feel like
know,
you've used that flavor before. I think
don't
you
know.
must
Grape?
really have loved that gum as a child, because I don't have that sense memory like you do.
I do. I loved it because it was like big, really like.
I remember a pink one
and
that
blowing
wasn't grape.
and blowing and trying to make these really big.
See, mine was pink. It wasn't grape.
I had grape flavor.
That
But
sounds
anyways,
amazing.
what's coming up for me with that is like what came up was hot air. Not that you have hot air, but that people, I have someone in my life in a position of authority over me who's like, oh, Marita, I never worry about your self-confidence. Have tons of confidence. And I said, she's like, I don't worry about your humility. And I go, oh no, because I have true humility. True humility, I don't know if you've read about this, is not about hiding yourself in shame and be like, oh no, I didn't do that. No, true humility is stepping into your power, truly knowing what your power is, who you are in this world, and also knowing what you're not. And so I told her that, and she didn't know what to do with me. They rarely know what to do with me, but I questioned her idea of humility because her idea and her messaging of humility was to keep me down. Oh, Marita, I know that you're never humble. Keep, humility, the idea of sacrifice, of martyrdom. That is not humility. Humility is taking in your divine right, your divine power, and being strong in that. So, Lisa, we're clearing out your third chakra, and I want you to be powerful. We're going to build, I'm going to big, imagine one of the largest bubblegum bubbles or what's the wands, those wands?
Yeah, the bubble wands.
The bubble wands, the
Those
largest bubble that you can ever imagine. And that's what we're going to encase your third chakra in and just clear it out and protect you. This is really about protection. So, Lisa, I hope you're still on and
flying high.
Yeah, Lisa, yeah. Protection, third chakra. I'm just writing it down.
Yeah, the crazy thing, she talks about it, humility being this, it automatically makes me think of the difference between confidence and ego, confidence helps you be what you're meant to be in the world and shine your light bright, which the world needs. And ego is a little bit more like fear-based, I don't think either one is bad. I think we kind of put those labels on things, but I do strive to have more confidence and less ego. Confidence and humility can go side by side, confidence and humility can go side by side. They can live together like nice little friends. So, thank you. So who's next? Thank you so much.
I have someone that's stepping out. So Lexi, happy birthday. She's stepping out for a birthday dinner. I told her what chakra she needed.
Happy birthday. My birthday's coming up soon too. Next Sunday. We may be on. We may have to take a little break. We'll see.
We'll be on.
Probably be on. We'll see. We may not have homemade Rosie Pops though, because we're gonna be we're gonna be somewhere else, which I'm not going to mention right now, actually.
Down the road.
We'll be down the road.
Okay, so Catherine, you wanted a card, happy birthday, to see what work would sustain you, Catherine, if you're still on. After that, we're going to go to Jeanette for a reading. Elena Cruz, if you're still on. Then we have Dawn and Rowena.
Okay, you want to, because you already...
Okay, I already pulled this for you. Catherine, what I got for you was the drum. The idea of going to the tune of your own drum, shamanic drum making, the rhythm of getting in tune with what you really want, which is funny because you're asking what work sustains you. And this is saying, know thyself, to thine own self be true.
That's kind of messed up. What work sustains you? Well, it's telling us you're either a drummer.
Yeah.
Some kind of percussionist, or you need to look within,
or you don't fit into the mold of anything. Sometimes, I don't have a traditional background, really, in anything, but in some things, a traditional background in the sense of how I came into my day job right now, or in the other things that I work like that. I come from the arts. You know, if I told people what I do now, they look at me. You know, I didn't go for like to be a doctor or to be a nurse or to be an architect. I wanted to be an architect. I really want to be an astronaut, but
I want to be an architect too. Maybe that's a dream we can create.
There you go. But other than that, I went to the beat of my own drum, and that was music. For me, it was music. And I feel that there's something about music coming here for you. I know you're creative. I saw your, look within, definitely not a drummer. I saw your painting the other day. And what I loved about your painting is that face that was revealed itself. I'm also a painter. She's a painter. That's my painting in the back. Painting and taking that time to paint and to create and have that space for yourself is so healing and soothing and nurturing that, you know, I think the more that you paint the more that you will gather strength and this is the thing about being a painter, being an artist, is that you're always in process, which is really hard. You know, sometimes I want things done and like in a nice tight little box, but I'm not like that, because then I'm like, what was that? You know, it's okay to be always in process, to move from one medium to the other. You know, I'm a singer-songwriter. I paint, I do other things, I do this. And for me, it's all a rhythm of how to express myself, whether it's healing arts, whether it's music, it's this. And each one is a way that it's a story to be told. So there might be, you have to create it. That's what I'm saying. There might not be something out there that you're going to pick up and read and on, you know, Craigslist or whatever, and like that's exact job description for you. Or maybe there is. Maybe you should write down, this is coming in, you should write down the job description of exactly what you want and manifest that job. My job that I have currently right now, I've been able to grow in it and make it my own. Sometimes there's that possibility to bring in all of your gifts and talents and be yourself. And that's what people want these days. People don't want drones, you know, people want truth. And so, Catherine, I suggest that, you know, keep painting, keep self-care.
Start writing your own road.
Start writing your own road. The green road, maybe. We'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I would just echo that. I have, you know, gotten hung up in ways because I tried to follow other people's paths, you know, or I thought that they were helping me find mine. And in a way, the different, you know, things I did have helped me to find my own path. But my path is not somebody else's path. You know, that is why we are doing what we do. We are creating the paths for ourselves because this is what we feel like we need to offer to the world. So,
So thank you, Catherine. Yeah. Thanks for coming back on. I know you had a crazy week, hoping to connect with you on a call about the Green Road. See if it's something that you'd like to join us on. Also tell your friends. So I'm going to jump in. Let's talk about the Green Road really quickly. The Green Road is an academy. It's a 6-month academy that myself will be part of, Rose will be part of, and also our good friend in Kauai, Jennifer Victoria Bell, the Truth Titan, the Blade.
She's the real deal.
She does not hold back that one. So if you don't like being told the truth, do not join this. And so what it is, it's a 6-month journey to activate yourself. What is that? You're going to activate yourself through, go through a course with me on Mind Alchemy. You'll actually get certified how to teach people how to do this method, this clearing. We go through the layers of creation. We recreate yourself. I teach you how to be smoke. Wow, super cool. How to be lightning and other things like that. You're also going to get one-on-ones with me as we sing your jaguar down from the tree. You get one-on-ones with this amazing relationship coach advice person, and then also classes with Jennifer, and some ones-on-one on soul retraining, soul language, DNA restructuring, and things like that. So it's a 6-month journey. We're starting at the end of October. If you're interested, please hashtag Green Road here, and we will connect with you, private message you on a call. I'm also offering, I just finished a summit which has 10 powerful women talking about radical self-love, the journey to zero waste, which zero waste is a mindset. So we had tattoo artists, mantra, kirtan people, yogis, we had, urban planners, we had herbalists, we had tons of people, and shamans, Lakota shamans, Keto shamans, with it, practitioners within those traditions. And there's a bonus out there on Facebook that I'll put you in contact with that has extra meditations and stuff like that. That is yours for you today, free, if you hashtag Green Road. And that means you sign up with us for a information call on Green Road, and then I give you access. I did the opposite last time.
Yeah. So the Green Road is about that. What you will get out of the Green Road is knowing yourself better. You know, when we're talking about what is your passion, what is your path, that is part of what we're going to be working on. We're going to be working on how you create from a place of self-love. How do you start going out into the world from a place of self-love?
Good boundaries.
Really sort of clearing out and recreating. And so you understand what do I really want? What have I taken on somebody else's passions? Have I put myself so deep into activism that I have forgotten to take care of my own body, of my own spirit? Who am I modeling this to? You know, we talked about being a parent. What am I bringing into the causes that I work in with the energy of sacrificing myself, right? That is, you know, it's not going to last. It's not sustainable. Change is something that happens generation after generation. It's an ongoing work to keep our world, to work on diplomacy in our world, to work on food for everybody, on shelter for everybody, on taking care of the planet, on human rights. It's a process. You have got to love yourself. Otherwise, you are recreating what is done by the people that you are trying to overthrow. You know, if they're not respecting your body and your spirit and your truth, and you are doing the same thing to yourself, you're not going to be able to keep going. So this is a chance to love yourself deeply, to go within with your activism, and then to carry that forward out into the world. So we hope that you will sign up for a free call with the three of us, myself, Marita, and Jennifer. We'll be sharing the link with you. And then once you sign up, she will give you access to the bonus features and all the videos.
Meditations, DJ sets, prayers, relationship tips and advice. You know, it's
pretty
worth
amazing.
It's worth over $3,000.
Yeah.
Yours free today. Hashtag Green Road.
This is true. So hashtag Green Road. So I did a reading for the next person.
Yeah, Jeanette, I hope you're on. I just texted. Jeanette, here's your reading.
I hope you're still here. The card for you is the Tree of Life. This is a beautiful card. I don't think I've actually pulled this for anybody yet.
I have for myself.
So the tree it's a sacred symbol, you know. It's about the connection between heaven and earth, and the importance of, if you're having a full life, you want to have roots that go really deep into the ground, and you want to have arms and limbs that reach high up to heaven. You know, it's not about living in the clouds, and it's not about staying hidden on the ground. You got to be rooted and reaching for something more. You know, it's that combination of striving and groundedness.
What I also love about this tree, I don't know if you can see that, but you can see how the trunk is interwoven, and also kind of how the root system is. And that's an amazing way to grow, right? To grow wrapped up in your roots and wrapped up in a trunk. You know, it's almost like, you know, two trees coming together and forming one. And that can happen in our lives, you know, at different points in our lives. Also, trees cannot live alone. They're supposed to be in community. Trees form communities also in their root system underground with mycelium, with fungus, and they act and they work together. And so we think of just the tree and the tree of life, but there's a lot of life in there. There's just a lot of layers going on, right? So there's life below the roots, and this way that the tree connects not only to that, but to other trees. Trees talk to each other. I wish I could hear them. I talk to trees all the time. And one of these days, when I was young, I could hear them. It's coming back. But how they talk and how they connect. And so I think, Jeanette, what's going on, I'm really sorry about your loss, is that our systems can grow deep. And, you know, a tree is heard when it falls in the forest by other trees. And sometimes even when a tree is sick or passes away, the other trees keep feeding it. and keep it as alive as possible. And that's how we can do with our memory, right? We can do with our memory. We can keep loving. I've had loss in my life as well. That's one dimension. They're not here, but they're in other dimensions that we can still be connected to. And healing can still happen. So anything else for Jeanette?
The other piece was that it was saying was just that if you feel like you're sort of just going through your day mindlessly, where you're doing your tasks and then you're going to work and then you're typing on the computer and then, you're coming home and you're sort of like just stuck in that mechanical process of living. It's about looking up to the heavens and opening yourself to inspiration and opening yourself to spirit. If you're thinking too much, if you're just distracted by thoughts all the time, you're up in your head, it's about pulling yourself down and doing something that's physically grounding for you. Gardening, hiking, cooking, making bread, working with clay, doing art, something that's physical, right? Something to ground you. So it's really inviting you, wherever you are, take a little bit from the other part of the tree, from the other part of existence, to balance yourself out. Okay, so reading for...
No, so we have Elena Cruz. If you're still on, let us know. You said you wanted advice. I know you popped on. You were talking about boundaries and relationships. So,
yes.
Elen, if you're still on, if you want to let us know a little bit more. Oh, she's still on. Gracias.
Yes, tell us what your question is. I would love to know, and I will give you...
Elena Cruz. So what in particular is your question? Thank you, Jeanette. We love you too. Thank you
so much.
So any particular question that you want advice with? I know
it doesn't work.
I know.
Something that you're not watching that's hilarious is my wife keeps on putting her phone on this certain spot to angle it up, and it slid off like 20 times at least at this point.
Do the same thing and expect different results. You do the same thing and expect different results. It's the sign of madness, right? I fixed it now. So she wants guidance on life purpose. Hi, Sean. How are you? Hope you're good down in LA. Sean has some amazing
Well, that's
stuff.
interesting. So it's funny because you said relationship stuff, but then I pulled you a card anyway, and interestingly, your card is pretty powerful. So this is the Andean Cross. It's number 2 in this deck.
Yes, and we're using the Mystical Shaman Oracle cards.
Yes. So this is about, it announces the start of a great journey, and raising your gaze from the mundane. It's about, it's really connected to shamanism, actually, and a spiritual calling. I'm trying to put it into words. It's not about making sense of things. It's about starting the journey, even if the path is not obvious to you yet, or where it's heading doesn't make sense. It's like you're somewhere and they're like, a ship is leaving the dock. It's going to this place. You don't know where that place is. And they're like, we need crew for this ship. We need somebody to come along and be our, spiritual advisor. And you're just like, yes, something is inviting you to start a great journey. And it is a journey as somebody who is connected to spirit, who's connected to healing. And probably there's going to be pieces of it that you can't even imagine right now would be like a part of your life in any way, where if you thought about it now, you'd be like, oh no, that is not me. But that there's something new coming for you right now.
Also, I don't know if you know this cross, it's used in a lot of kind of Mayan, Aztec and things like that, but it talks about also, it's not just a normal cross. There's steps going into different worlds. And so a lot of people teach about these steps going into the worlds. Also, there's 4 directions. So I don't know if you're familiar with 4 directions. Like I said earlier, right now we're in the West, in the Hopi tradition, that is blue bear and turtle. In other traditions, it's other things. So it's also, this is calling for you to connect to the elements and to Mother Nature in a new way. And that your journey, as you see, is circular inside and whole. That part is you right there in the middle, where you can be whole. And this is the journey up through the different worlds of creation. Maybe you should join a Green Road. I think you'd like that. But yeah, so there's an amazing.
Actually, yeah, I mean, it's interesting that, well, I'm not sure if you were listening when we were describing it, but we would love to share more information with you. We will put the information page in the description of this video because it is about a lot connecting to your purpose, self-love as part of that process, because really knowing yourself is what's going to help you connect to your purpose in this life. Yeah, I just, you said sounds exciting, and I love that. That's so, you're so open to something that is new and unknown. And I also just want to invite you to sort of be aware that it might also feel really confusing when it starts to happen. There have been things that have taken me towards my path that at the time felt confusing. Like, wait, what? Am I letting go of these other things? Am I going in this totally different direction? Am I like, where am I really headed right now? How do these pieces fit together? And part of it is just letting go of trying to understand, which has been another thing that we've talked about a couple times today, and being willing to move forward and just trust that the path will unfold, So thank you for asking. And we will definitely put some information for you so that we can have a call with you about what we're going to be working on for the next 6 months with a small group of people starting at the end of October.
Beautiful.
All right.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Wonderful.
Dawn, if you're still on, I know you're looking for relationship advice. Sometimes I just feel like lost and lonely and I don't find. Cruz, I completely understand. I would really, number one, we talked a lot about trusting your intuition, how to build that intuition. If you are feeling directionless, not that I'm trying to plug this Green Road a lot, but I think there are reasons that things come into people's lives, guides and steps. People have come into my life when I've felt lost. I remember one day I cried out to the universe because I was not going well. And the next day I went out, and at a 7-Eleven, this woman came up to me and she said, "I heard your call. You called universe." And I was like, what the? So this might be a call for you to join us on the Green Road. Again, we'll come back and we'll add that information and stuff like that.
Yeah, I would just say, for any of you that we've talked to this about on this call, just find a moment of silence and really try to listen to yourself and listen. Is there something that's calling you to this or to, something else that you've come across, and there's this little there's something that's like calling you into it, but we often ignore those calls.
We do.
And you never know.
Exactly.
Nothing
happens because of chance.
I'm working with some coaches right now, and the way that I got to them was through this one coach that I worked with for a while that then didn't really feel right for me, and then I tried to connect to this other coach because I realized I was working on something different than what I wanted to be working on. Didn't quite feel right about that, but it did open me up and be ready for this other thing. And then I met these people that I was super excited to work with, and now I feel like I have this perfect match. So would I have gotten there if I hadn't said yes to these other moments? I don't know, right? So just try saying yes. Say yes to your adventure,
And that's great. It's great when you can see life as an adventure, not as like, ah!
Sometimes adventures are like,
exactly.
You're going over the waterfall and you're in a really small raft.
Okay, Dawn, are you still with us? I know you wanted some relationship advice. I don't know if you're still on. If you are, please write in the comments because you're next. If not,
Rowena and Dawn.
Rowena, are you on? I know you wanted a card. If you're still with us, we will we'll go ahead with you too. If not, we'll just go down the list. This list has been our largest so far.
We're really enjoying working with everybody.
Thank you so much. Please make sure.
We're starting to get close to the end.
Yeah, we are.
Yes, we've done a long one today. We often stay on for about an hour and a half to 2 hours. We're coming up on 2 hours in about 20 minutes. So
Angel, are you still on? Let us know. Let's just, I think Angel, Bobette, good to see you again.
Hello.
So if Dawn and Rowena, if you're not on, we're going to move on to Angel. Angel, are you still on? Do you still want a card?
All right. Just who else is on the list?
Lance, JoJo.
Okay.
And Mahali. Mahali just asked for something. So let's just pull one for Mahali. It seems you're on, Mahali. And we'll just go from there. Make sure people are still on.
Ooh. All right. This is for Mahali.
Yes, Mahali.
The serpent.
Mahali.
Mahali.
Fields.
Got it. The serpent is your card. This is an amazing card. I personally connect a lot with snake energy. Let's see what it says here. For me, the energy of snake is about transformation and
rebirth.
transmutation and rebirth. So the serpent is the life force of Mother Earth. This is Kundalini energy. This is that electricity up your spine. This is about shedding the past, but it is also about connecting with creativity, with fruit, with knowledge, with, the gifts that creation have to give us, Oh, yes. Okay.
It's also about,
they're all inside.
Okay. Shedding our own skin. Did you already say that? Yeah. We also came out of, awesome, Babette, no worries. We also just came out of the South Shield, which is snake energy. And there's this amazing, really, every time I see it, I start crying. There's this picture that was taken of this serpent that was trying to outrun the forest fires.
Killed me.
And knew that it wasn't gonna be able to outrun the fires, and so turned around and ferociously was approaching the fire, and it was so hot that he was burnt, but they still pictured him like that. And every time that I see that picture, I start crying. And that picture for me is that ability to in the mid, when the fire is at its strongest, are you going to, even if you think it's not going to be there, are you willing to shed your skin? Are you willing to face it? Are you willing to face either the creation around you and the creation inside of you? Are you willing to have that energy and that power to face it, come what may, come what may? And it's just a powerful symbol. The serpent is of creation and rebirth.
And another part of that energy is about passion and sexuality, and that and the connection that it has to creation. People can shy away from sexual energy. They can shy away from sensual energy. Somebody asked this amazing question in a group that I'm in recently, talking about everyday ways to have hedonism in your life. And what that really means is taking pleasure, and one of the things that I mentioned was roller skating, touching flowers, right? These little ways that we can bring sensuality into our lives and pleasure and passion into our lives. This card is about the awakening of your passion, your sexuality, and your creativity. And that is a part of a transformational process. And it can be scary, right? And so that's what Marita was saying. Sometimes you just have to turn and face the fire, and you might not know how it's going to change you. But you have to be ready for it and just and go and do it. Ride or die.
Ride or die.
Okay.
Thank you. So Rowena is still on. Rowena, we pulled a card for you, Beauty Way. It's in reverse.
Okay. What number is that?
Cuatro. And Babette, I got a card for you. Now this is a gorgeous card.
Have a card
it has a dragonfly. Dragonfly is great energy.
And the lotus.
And the lotus.
Well, it's a lily, actually.
It is a lily. But it's a beautiful card.
Oh, wait. Is it a lotus? Looks like a lily to me.
So Rowena, this is your card. Thanks for staying on.
Okay, so the reverse of this card, it says, stop trying to fix relationships you think are broken. It's about not just that it's not your job, but also that sometimes things that you think are broken are actually doing exactly what they need to do. Right. And it actually reminds me of another card that we got earlier today, which was the coyote, where it's talking about how some of the detours that we have in life, the struggles, the challenges, are actually the things that are testing our mettle, that are hardening us, that are softening us, that are readying us for the next step that we have to take. And so sometimes when we see these relationships we think are broken, what they're actually doing is helping us or helping somebody else prepare for the next thing that's coming for them. But without that challenge, they're not going to be ready.
Correct.
If I had not had the challenges I had in the relationships that I was in before I met my wife, I don't know if I would have been ready for her partnership. I don't know if we would have connected the way we did and gotten married and just had the amazing relationship that we have. So that is what that card is about. You know, you really just need to appreciate the inherent beauty in everything. That's why I was talking about that.
Yeah.
I just remembered something from last call. So thank you. That is your card today. I hope it resonates for you.
So Angel, if you're still with us, let us know. We'll pull you a card. Babette, you ready? Dun, 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 dun. Jaguar, upside down. I have Jaguar energy too. Jaguar.
What number is it?
Jaguar energy, 28. Jaguar energy is that ability to go into the shadow self. The Jaguar is with ease in between spaces, between trees, between land. It's careful. It takes care of its kind. It hunts together. And Jaguar is that medicine of being able to see in the dark. Not just physically, invisibly, but be able to go into the shadow sides of yourself, the shadow self. What is that? Those are those things that we have hidden. You know, maybe it's our self-worth, who we think we are, who we show and who we don't show to the world. Familiar shame, you know, there's centuries and centuries of karma that we've built up. So all of that, the Jaguar is coming here to, I was going to say unhinge you, but to guide you through that shadow self, because those things have to come out to the light. There's also this dualism that we think that dark is bad and light is right. That's not true. There's so much energy in the darkness, and the darkness is not evil. It's not, it's just a part of ourselves that can teach us amazing things. I used to, when I was a kid, used to walk around in the darkness a lot. I liked doing it. It was a game. You know, it's a way to work with other senses, you know, to waken up your perception, you know, your sense of smell, your sense of touch and different things, and empower those. The power of darkness is amazing. It teaches you more and more about yourself. So here's your guide, Babette. I don't know what you're going on in your life. It's been a while since I talked to you, but I'm so happy that you're on here. But this is definitely the card to help you release.
So I want to add just a little bit to that. And part of it is talking about how, you know, having the Jaguar is what helps you have the courage to release. You know, the Jaguar it walks through the shadows without fear, you know, so this is about having the Jaguar is here to back you up, so that if you are afraid to let go of the toxic shit, that whatever is going on, it's here to help you. It's here to be like, I got you. It's okay. It's okay. And you're like, oh, God, you know, it's here to help you let go, move on, let that stuff be out of your life once and for all, permanently. Done. Jaguar got your back. And that's actually a pretty powerful ally to have at your back. So thank you.
So Angel, I don't know if you're still on, looking for Angel. If not, we'll move on. Angel. Lance, Jojo, if you're still on, let us know and we'll pull your card. But we're Tammy, I know you're on because you came, Tammy Maxa. Let's pull a card for you, Tammy. Thanks, first time. Again, my name is Marita.
Hi, my name is who? My name is what?
My name is
Slim Shady.
No, it's not. My name is Jaguar is great. Letting go. Done. Thanks. Awesome.
Name?
No, my name is one who catches lightning.
My name is Rose, and I'm with Love by Design.
Thank you, everyone, for joining us. We are wrapping this up pretty soon. We have 10 more minutes. We have to eat our popsicle stick, but
oh my God, I'm so excited. They're really, really, really frozen.
So what have we been doing for these past 2 hours? Thank you for everyone who's new and joined us. We do card readings, 1-card readings. We do chakra clearings with ice cream flavors, hence it's called Ice Cream Sundays. We do this every Sunday at 3 p.m. Pacific time.
Yes. That was good. Yes.
Pacific time.
Don't get into the daylight savings time and standard time.
Yeah, I don't even know.
People. You know what I just do? I just Google. I'm like, if it's here, what time is it in that city? If it's this time, okay, you want to do it?
Yeah.
Here, you can do it. You know how to do it.
So we make popsicles or rosy pops. No, we'll just do it in a minute. I'll wait. Okay, 1, 2, 3.
Okay.
Okay.
Funny. So we make popsicles today. The popsicle flavor was a really beautiful actual herbal tisane along with rose. So the tisane that we used, it's an herbal tea. It is hawthorn and hibiscus, and then a rose. So all of our popsicle flavors have rose in them, hence the name Rosy Pops. Look for
Tammy.
a Rosy Pops Emporium, as my wife says every time.
One day. Tammy, thank you so much. She loves our energy. Here comes your card. And Virginia, we might have time for you as well if we get this going. Wow. Ooh, interesting. Okay. She's feeling it out here. We're feeling it out.
I feel like it's this one. But.
Okay. So, yeah. Okay, let's do that. So we are using the Mystical Shaman Oracle card decks. We love these cards. We've been working with them a little bit. Mystical Shaman. I love this one. This is the card that you got. What I love about...
She got the title card. I was like, why are you saying Mystical Shaman so much?
Yeah.
It's the name of the deck and it's the name of the card that you got.
There you go. So what's amazing about this is that it's about... shamans are storytellers. They keep stories alive, right? And they're myth makers, but they don't get stuck in their story. So how are you telling the story of your life? How are you getting stuck in conclusions, endings, character, arcs and things like that? Are you really living your life without attachment? Are you becoming open for the spirit to be able to guide you? That is what this card is about. Don't be attached to perfectly told stories with a beginning, a middle, and an end. Your life is expansive. Alexis, you are on. I talked about you earlier about the expansion principle. She was the one that I was watching. So
I like it.
Alexis does this great work talking about expansion, and this is perfect because she talks about how she teaches you how to expand your reality, right? That we're never at the point where we know enough. And I think this is what this card is coming for you, Tammy, is open yourself to the new, open yourself to the unknown, and don't get tied into the stories or the dramas happening around you. It's so easy to get looped into the dramas that are happening around you, and to tell them and retell them. I was on here a few weeks talking about gossip and how gossip is like juicy, like it's a little, like it makes your mouth salivate. It's sort of, don't get stuck in stories that are juicy like that, because then they turn sour, right? Get light, get bright.
This is about to jump
light,
into
bright.
your eye.
Wow.
I just wait.
Wow.
No, okay. It was.
Is it?
Oh, there. Wait. Where did it go?
I don't know. So okay. I hope that helped.
I have a little bit more to add, as I usually do. So I've just been reading this description, and there's a few pieces when we're talking about juicy. Let me tell you, these sentences, they ring really true for me. This is a practice that I have been practicing lately. So I just want to tell you, what if you could become a mystery to yourself?
Ooh.
Who would you become if you stopped telling the tales that have defined you up until now? Who would you be without those stories? You don't have to live in a story that has roots in the past. What if there was literally no need to explain yourself, who you were, to anybody around you or to yourself?
Oh.
You, at every moment in your life, you have the choice to you could just pretend to, like, that everything that had happened up until this moment that shaped who you were, that was the story of your life. What if you could pretend that none of that ever happened? How would you walk? What would you notice? Who would you be? What choices would you make? What would your new story be? You start from nothing. And that's a practice that you can try any day, at any moment, at any time. That is the practice of the shaman. You know, if you have a strong story that you tell about your life, what are the moments that you have chosen? I challenge you to go back, pick out several other different moments or sort of, you know, pieces in the plot and tell a story that is a completely different story about your life, even if it doesn't feel true to you. The way that we choose the moments that make up our story are very telling, and we can choose at any time to tell a different story about ourselves, and it is going to change how we move through the world, and it is going to change how people react to us. That is the medicine that you're being offered today. Try it. There's lots of different ways to try this. I can tell you, I have tons of exercises around this type of journey changing, story changing. So
yeah, and Tammy, like I said, you should definitely check out our Green Road Academy. It's all about that.
You have a hard time.
I don't know how to do
You're
this.
doing it.
You're
You're
trying.
doing it. No, you're doing it.
So
You just have to keep going.
Okay, here.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
Okay, so Tammy, I understand struggling with who you are, what your answer is, and things like that. There's a lot of people out there to help. We're here to help. We're going to have a 6-month academy, Green Road Academy. So come back. I'll write the link in the comments. We had someone else.
Need a napkin here.
I probably need a lot of things today.
We're
finally getting our rosy pops. I think what I want to do, we're really coming up with the last couple of minutes. We had a few people jump on and jump off. So if we missed you, we're so sorry. Come back next week. Virginia, first time. Thank you. I want to do just a chakra clearing for everyone. Want to just do that?
Yeah,
Let's just do a chakra clearing for everyone who's still here. Again, we use ice cream flavors. Whoo!
Tiniest Tibetan bowl.
So if you're still on, just take a deep breath, get comfortable, close your eyes if it's possible. I do these online rides, spin rides, and the person says peeking is creepy. Whatever. Peeking is creepy. But anyways, okay. So let's settle in. Let's do a little bell, Tibetan bowl. As you settle into your bones, into your skin. Yeah, bones can hurt sometimes. They hurt sometimes waking up, into your muscles. The strains of your life, your lower back, how you've carried things, your shoulders, how you've carried guilt and shame. I've carried people and ideas and things and situations, how your feet grow tired of walking roads that sometimes seem too long. How people keep pulling at you, pulling at your flesh, wanting attention, wanting to peck in, wanting energy. Let's let that all go right now. We're going to bring in, actually, the rosy pop flavor of today. We're going to bring in rose. Rose is a powerful, powerful symbol and smell and texture. It is like liquid gold. Bring that in through your crown chakra, all the way down. Take your time as you bring it into your chakras. Smell the rose, be the rose, grow. Roses protect themselves. Roses grow strong. Roses grow in colors. Roses bloom. Roses have thorns. Roses are delicate and fierce at the same time. Bring in that energy, that duality that sometimes you think roses are feminine. Roses can be masculine. Masculine energy is about boundaries. Boundaries so that we can receive these roses, receive these petals, receive this love, and bring in hibiscus. Love hibiscus. I grew up drinking it in Mexico and grew up drinking it here. Hibiscus, that color, that deep, deep, deep red. This color, if you are peeking, here it is.
It's pink.
Pink, deep, deep. Rosa Mexicano is what we call it. Rosa Mexicano. Bring in that deep Rosa Mexicano down your chakras, through your limbs, through your skin, through into your bones, into your molecules. Become this color, become this essence, light, bright. Feel it as it tingles down your spine. Feel it as you can wiggle it in your fingers, in your toes, brightening up all your aura. Letting you rest in peace and come back down into yourself as you rebuild yourself from your molecules. to your muscles, your bones, your skin. Come back sitting where you are, at peace with who you are, with new direction, and that direction is to look inside. Aho.
Thank you for that. That was lovely.
Thank you.
Don't forget about the hawthorn. Hawthorn is for your heart.
Hawthorn is for your heart.
Part of the healing power of this particular popsicle is for your heart. I got some scratches on my heart and neck today from our little kitty cat who got scared, but I think this is where we're going to leave you today.
Thank you for everyone who joined us.
Yes.
Please keep sharing this and coming back. We do 1 to 2 hours depending on how many people we get.
And availability.
So catch us next week, 3 p.m. Pacific time. And we hope that you have a blessed week. We'll put some information about the Green Road. It seems that a lot of people are at that point where they're looking for direction, they're looking for identity, and the Green Road looking for path, and this might be the Green Road for you. And we're really excited to be sharing it and start talking to people again. It will be a select number of people that come and join us, because we want to make sure that you get one-on-one attention, and it'll be with 3 practitioners, us 2, and then our good friend who's going to be on next week. So thanks so much. And Jamar, I hope you're doing well. I don't know what's the matter. I hope you were able to tune into that meditation. But our time is up, and we will see you next week. Thank you so much.
Remember, live your life
to the sweetest.
To the sweetest.
Aho.
Bye.